Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Star Wars Dark Trooper helmet display set. This is set number 75343. It has 693 pieces and I paid $60 for this set. Now, the retail price of this set is $70. For some reason, I thought this set started out for some reason, I thought it started around $50 and then went up to $60. And then when they released the new, Clone Commander and Captain Rex and Leia helmets, then they went up to $70. So I'm not actually sure on the pricing history of this, but I got this for $60. This was actually the second helmet display that I got. I got the Red 5 first, and that's Luke's helmet from being, a pilot of an X-Wing. And I got that one first, and then I got this one, and then I got, I think, Vader, and then I went and got all of the newer ones that released, and I also got the Mandalorian, and the Mandalorian one is the only one I've done a video about so far. So I thought I would do a video about this one for a couple reasons. First, for the upcoming May 1st, May the 4th Star Wars days with Lego. I believe in the United States, this is one of the sets that will be available for 5 times VIP points, which comes out to roughly 20% cash back or something, or 20% Lego value back in the VIP program. So I thought, why don't I give my thoughts on this and see if maybe any of my viewers were planning on getting in on some of the promos or are interested in this set in any way. So this is the one I picked to do today. So in this video, I'm just going to kind of go through this, what the build was like, what the things I like, the things I don't like, and then talk a little bit about the price and the value here. The first thing, we have the instruction manual. It's the older style, I think, that is no longer around, but is nice. I do not have the extra pieces here for this set. I know that there were some. I just built this a long time ago and didn't want to sift through my collection to find all of the extra pieces in here. But this is a Dark Trooper helmet, which is a type of droid, I believe, from The Mandalorian Season 2. It may not be a droid. For some reason I thought that it was. Yes, so this is an advanced type of droid from The Mandalorian. And I was a little bit so-so on this one when I saw it on the shelves because it's just all black. I mean, one of the things that I liked about the Red 5 is that there was like pops of color and more detail in there, and I thought some of the detail in this kind of gets lost because it's just so monochromatic. But this is actually really, really nice, and it's perhaps one of the more intricate or complicated or difficult to build of many of the helmets I've done, certainly compared to the Mandalorian. I thought the Mandalorian was very, very basic for a helmet, one of the Star Wars helmets here. And all of these Star Wars helmets do have essentially the same stand here that they rest on, and this is a print, which is nice. I'm glad those aren't stickers there. So they have that, but we can kind of take a look at this, and there are pieces on here that are delicate and will pop off. There are pieces that are at interesting angles. The whole like face construction of this and all the different sub-assemblies in here kind of below the forehead, like eyes and down, is really, really interesting to me, and a lot more interesting than even some of the Clone Commanders or Captain Rex or something like this. So this is really, really neat, this front whole area. And even the angle created here is nice, and the Darth Vader helmet does have a little bit of that, and some of the other helmets do have kind of the an angle going down there, but this has, I feel, kind of a lot more going on the more you look at it. So the first thing is, the top of this. If we look at the top of the helmet, very, very similar to many other helmets. There's nothing coming off. This uses the studs on top and then studs on the side kind of shaping here to get this rounded sort of helmet look. And I'm okay with that. It's pretty cool. It is a nice kind of contrast between all these studs up here and then everything below that being very, very tiled and very, very smooth, and not many studs, not many gaps where there aren't supposed to be them. So I think that looks really nice. You can see we get the translucent red there for the eyes in this really, really great way. They look I think really good. I think they look pretty menacing and scary. And I think the brow is nicely done. The eyes are kind of inset a good ways here from kind of the what would be maybe like the cheek or the upper cheek and the brow here, and that's very, very cool. So I really like the eyes. That's the pop of color that's in this thing. The only other thing that could really stand out is a little bit of metallic silver down here, the drum lacquered silver on either side there. Other than that, it's just very, very black. But we do get, for a couple more details, there are some stickers on here, which isn't uncommon for a Star Wars helmet display. We do have a sticker on the brow, this one here. This kind of vent piece here is 5 stickers. So the middle one is one longer one, and then these two kind of modified slopes are one, and these 2 slopes are one. I actually was wondering if LEGO would ever make kind of vented like slopes like this. They do make the vented kind of angle like triangle pieces like this, but the slope, the vents rather, are going a slightly different way. And I was wondering if they would do a piece like these vented tiles, but for something like this, one of these sloped pieces, because that would have worked really well here. But for now, in this set, those are stickers. And then we have sticker on the side of this piece here, and same on the other side. I believe that's all of them, which makes 8 stickers total, which isn't too bad, and they're subtle enough. Color match on black is usually pretty good, so nothing really to compare or complain about there. I mean, you can kind of see where the sticker starts and ends here, but that's not too much of an issue there, and I think the details are worth it. While we're looking at these extra details of the face, I think I want to talk about more of the construction of this. A lot of helmets use kind of different sub-assemblies and small assemblies that get clipped on and put in really interesting places. And I think this one uses like more than many other ones that I've seen. So you may have already noticed like these pieces that have that bigger sticker on them that kind of come in at this really nice angle here, those are on a ball joint. So there's some movement there into where they end up lying. And once you get them in place, yeah, they fit good there. But both of these do have some movement that can be done. There's a lot of interesting angles in underneath here with these pieces, and the whole nose construction. You can see it's wiggling a little bit because that uses different hinges and clips and all this stuff, but comes in there pretty nicely, I would say. So I think this is all really, really good and kind of a pretty advanced building in my opinion. And when you're putting this all together and then attaching these other kind of sub-assemblies, it can get a little intricate and a little finicky, and that's, not always a good thing. It's maybe rarely a good thing, but that's just what needed to happen maybe for some of these shapes to be achieved, and I think the end result is really, really good. I love all these different angles in here and how they make this shape at the end, but when you like look really closely, it's just kind of angled parts going in all different ways, and it's a really, really nice effect there. So I'm very, very pleased with the whole like face portion of this. On the side, like I was mentioning, these have some give to them as well. There's a little wiggle in there. Those are on like a hinge, so it's another sub-assembly. Same on the other side, and even around the back, this piece here has quite a bit of give as well. If you've noticed, I've knocked off these pieces around the base here several times. They use those Technic pin with the studs out just connected to this, and those are prone to pop off rather easily. And let me make sure I line this up correctly here. And then they're not studded together at all because there is no like double-sided studded plate there that would go between those. So those are pretty delicate. And then the other thing you may have noticed is there's even some play and some give in the stand, which I don't think I've seen for any of the other helmets here. And what that does is it allows the head, or encourages the head, to have this kind of slight forward tilt. Now, you can tilt it more forward than it does, but there's like it's on Technic, and then it uses some slope pieces under here to get this right angle, not a right angle like a 90-degree angle, but the correct angle where this is all leaning slightly forward, which adds to that sort of menace and that sort of really, really aggressive looking kind of feel to this, and I think that's achieved well. It is difficult, I think, to kind of build and attach all these different sub-assemblies, and especially stuff on the back while it's on the stand, and it has this wiggle room. So I know I ended up like taking it off the stand at different parts, even if the instructions didn't tell me to do so. So that's another kind of maybe advanced technique, maybe not, maybe kind of finicky, but good to have. And I think it does add a lot to the presentation of this set. So I think this is really good. I didn't know if I was going to like helmets at the end of the day. I got the Red 5 one, and I actually was a little bit like meh on it when I got it, but I'm very much into display sets and like a lot of the 18 plus sets and whatever, and I love Star Wars. Oh yeah, we can see even more play in this here, and we can just pop that off, and I will pop it back on. And I like display sets. I had done one diorama, I think, before this, the Trench Run one. I never watched The Mandalorian show, so I wasn't really sure about these characters or what this is or who this is necessarily, but I really liked how it looked, and I wanted to put it together. I wanted to build it, so I got it, and then I kind of fell for the helmet displays. I think I really like all the ones that I have. There are some that are either retired or harder to find that I would really, really like to get, but they are very overpriced in the aftermarket right now. So this was kind of an early entry for me, and I was pretty pleased with it. It was nice, and I think if I'm thinking about price and value, I don't know if these helmets are really ever the best value sets. So price per piece for this, if it's at $70 now for $693, that's close compared to some of the other more recent sets that came out that were released at $70. I think some had up into the 800 pieces, 700 pieces, and some had less. And so that's, this is about in line. I just think, it's a lot of just black, not a lot of like specialty pieces necessarily. So I wouldn't expect it to be crazy expensive, but this set, I think I paid $60 for. So at $60, then the price per piece is a little bit different, and the whole value proposition is a bit different. I don't know. I think some people do invest in these helmet displays. I think some of the ones that are retired that I want are very highly valued because of their limited availability. And so I don't know if these hold special value for that. That's not really my area that I'm interested in necessarily. And I know these helmets are kind of small. I mean, they're 7 inches roughly top to bottom. I don't know what their circumference is at their widest part here, but I like that they're all a uniform shape. They look great next to all the other helmets. That's for sure. But they are a bit small, so I could see why people think for $70 or even for $60, this might not feel like very much. For me, I have really enjoyed a lot of the helmet builds that I've done, and I probably will continue to do them if they keep making these helmet displays. I don't know if I'll continue to try to get every single one. I doubt it. I wasn't planning on getting every single one from the most recent release of them, but I did end up getting all 3 of those, and I enjoyed them all very, very much. So this is a good one, and like I mentioned at the beginning, this is, I believe, one of the sets that will be available for 5 times VIP points, and that is at in-store only, I believe, not online. And so the Lego website right now lists this as being worth like 455 VIP points. So 5 times that, we're looking at over 2,200 or over 2,000 VIP points for buying this. And then if you just convert the 2,200 VIP points, if you convert the 2,000 VIP points plus into a discount, then it equates to almost like 20-ish% off. So instead of paying 70 for this, you would maybe pay 56 because it'd be like $14 off, which then things are a little different. And so if you're trying to think about this as to get promos, to get the gift with purchases, to get 5 times VIP points, to get a set maybe you didn't have yet but weren't sure about the value, and then maybe wanted to get in on some of that, this might be one to consider. I enjoyed it. I think helmet enjoyers will like it. I think people familiar with these characters, with the Dark Troopers, will like it. I think the shaping on this is pretty darn cool. And like I say, there is some advanced building in here, relatively speaking, and that's always a pleasure for me. So I think the profile looks really nice. I think the head on looks really nice, and I like this. So if someone's out there interested, maybe consider picking it up when it's on a promo. Otherwise, maybe it's a skippable thing. Whatever you want. But I'm pretty happy with this. So if you like this video, consider giving it a like, and if you like the other videos on my channel, consider subscribing so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I will be doing in the future, including a bunch more reviews of helmet displays for Star Wars, because I have several others, and then I have other Lego Star Wars and a bunch of other Lego themes that I will be talking about here. So subscribe so you don't miss it. And until next time, thanks. Bye.